my fellow book addicts, Megan here, and time for another book review. Today, I'm going to be talking about The Blood of Olympus by Riordan, and this is the final book in the Heroes of Olympus series. So just time to jump right into things. So, since I can't really say much without giving spoilers, being the last in the series and all that, I'm just going to be jumping right into the spoilery bit. If you have not read this far yet, I suggest you click away now and wait until you read the book, because there are going to be spoilers in this video. This book was just amazing. This is just one of those books where I could not picture a better ending. Like, the ending was super satisfying, and it made me so happy. So, in this book, we don't have Percy and Annabeth's point of view, which, saddens me, but all things considering, they had all of Percy Jackson and the Olympian series to be in this, and, they had a big point of view part in the House of Hades, so I guess their time was just up. But, in return, we got Raina and Nico's point of view in this book, which made me so happy, because I love Nico. So him and Raina and Coach Hedge are trying to get the Athena statue to Camp Half-Blood because the statue needs to be delivered by a Roman in a way to kind of mend the feud between the Romans and the Greeks. And Nico can shadow travel, so that's why he's going along. And Coach Hedge is there as backup. That and he has a pregnant wife back at Camp Half-Blood, which he wants to get back to. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew, the 7 from the prophecy, are trying to get to Greece and try and stop Gaia from rising. And God, do they have a lot of challenges along the way. And can I just say, I was terrified for Leo throughout the whole book, especially when it started to seem like he was going to be one of the ones who was going to die. So, seeing that he might be actually even sacrificing himself later on just threw me into a huge panic. And I like how we see a lot of old characters from the series. We see Raina's sister again, Thalia, and the Hunters of Artemis, and oh my god, I felt kind of pity for Orion, who is the giant who was supposed to be like the anti-Artemis / Apollo, but in return, he kind of became besties with Artemis and was the few only guys to join her hunt. But, then he fell in love with her, and yeah, can't have that. And, godly drama unfolded. So, a little annoyed at that. Apollo, what are you doing? So, Zeus isn't too thrilled with Apollo. I am kind of worried about what is going to happen with him. Zeus isn't happy, and he's going to get some form of punishment after all this. And I'm kind of worried, because, since this is the last Percy Jackson book, we probably aren't going to see what's going to happen to poor Apollo. So yeah, Orion, he's trailing after Nico and Raina to try and stop them. And, God, he is persistent. I like how Raina deals with him. Raina is kind of awesome. She is a true Roman. That's for sure. And then they get the statue to Camp Half-Blood. And Nico, I kind of want to strangle him when he was, pushing himself to shadow travel so much and so far and so often. It's like, Nico, you're gonna kill yourself. Slow down. Your life is worth something. I also love how, Will from the Apollo cabin is just like, no. No underworldly powers, doctor's orders, no. I don't know if it was just me, but from that moment on, I just started to, mentally ship him and Nico together. It is now my headcanon that they are together and Nico is happy. Especially when Will starts giving him a hard time for being like, where have you been? Why haven't you been, visiting me while I was taking care of the sick? And yeah, I ship it. And, back in Greece, we got the remainder of the 7, getting to Greece and trying to sneak up and stop this whole ceremony to raise Gaia. Which, they're kind of playing into a trap here because they need to get demigods to spill their blood on these ancient stones to awake Gaia. And, here they are just kind of going into the lion's den, so to speak. And, the blood is shed. Both Annabeth's and Percy's. Just, oh my god, it wasn't fair that one little nosebleed from Percy set this off into, like, a big thing. Just Percy! But since the Athena statue got to Camp Half-Blood, the gods have been healed, because the demigods are now working together. So the gods managed to come down from the skies and basically help the Seven take down all these horrible monsters, and just, it was intense. And it was an epic showdown, and Jason finally met Zeus! Also, I like how earlier in the book, Jason kind of promises that badass storm goddess that he would build shrines to all the gods that do not have representation yet, both at New Rome and Camp Half-Blood, because, you know, a lot of this is because not all the gods are recognized, even after Percy made them promise and all that. You know, Jason is gonna be there to finish what Percy started, which I like. Go Jason for actually stepping up to the plate and taking on this huge mission. So I think I liked him a lot more after that, because that's a huge responsibility, and the fact that he's actually gonna see it through, awesome. So Gaia has been awoken, all the giants are dead now, but Gaia is not attacking them in Greece, my bad. But Gaia hasn't made a move against Greece. She is trying to take down both camps right now. So the Seven gotta get back to New York ASAP. So Zeus kind of helps out with that. But in the process, the Argo 2 is a goner. So while everyone else escapes, Leo stays on board because he has a plan. And that makes everyone nervous because it was predicted that one of them was likely to die. And they even went to get this physician's cure thing, which will bring someone back from the dead, in attempts to try and get around that. They think Piper has it, but she doesn't. Leo actually tricked Piper into thinking she has it, thanks to Hazel. He kind of talked to Frank and Hazel, and they agreed to help him, because what Leo has in mind could help win them this war, but it also might kill him in the process. We see Leo sneaking it into, like, the walls of the ship. So Gaia is attacking the camp. Demigods, both Roman and Greek, are teaming up to try and beat her and all the monsters that are surrounding them. Leo is clever. Somehow he managed to rebuild a body for Festus the dragon, and while the ship, you know, got destroyed, Festus was released, and now he's coming, riding on this awesome bronze dragon to save the day. Gaia has risen, she has a body, and right after she rises, you know, here comes Festus, grabbing her and carrying her high, high up into the sky. He calls for Piper and Jason to help him take care of Gaia. Leo's idea is to try and basically destroy Gaia away from her home turf, much like the Sky God was killed way back when. You know, how the Sky God was killed by, you know, Gaia calling him down to Earth, away from his home turf of the sky. The Titans hold him down while Kronos slices him up in this weakened state. Leo wants to do something similar to Gaia. So he takes her very, 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 very high up into the sky. Piper is using her charm speak to try and lull her into a sleep to make her weaker. And Gaia, of course, is resisting, but they are stubborn and they're gonna do this. Jason is helping keep Gaia, like, in the air so she can't retreat back to the ground. And Leo is using his fire powers to just try and destroy her and vaporize her. After Gaia's lulled to sleep, Leo tells his friends to get out of there because he doesn't want them to get killed in this process. And while this is all happening, Octavian sends this huge, like, fiery thing of Imperial gold into the sky to try and take Gaia down on his own, because he's like, no, I will be the savior of Rome! Rawr! He is insane. But while he sends this thing up to defeat Gaia, he himself is actually kind of thrown up there too. So that's how he dies. Gotta say, I was kind of hoping for something a little more intense for him. Something a little more I don't know. I felt he had something much worse coming to him. Especially since some people saw him as kind of a savior after all this. And it's just like, no, he was not a savior. Half of this crap could have been avoided if he just kept his face out of all of it. So Gaia is like vaporized. Like she isn't exactly dead because, you know, she's an ancient goddess. But her essence is possibly so thinly spread that she will hopefully never gain consciousness again. Kind of like Kronos and how he was destroyed. So, all this has happened. The camps are trying to tend to their wounded and dead. Nico is overseeing a lot of like the burial procedures, and he's gonna be staying around Camp Half-Blood a lot now, which is good. He has a home now, which is so nice to see. You know, the Romans are chilling out with the Greeks for a while to like recoup and regather, and they're gonna return to New Rome. But there's gonna be kind of like an exchange program between each camps where, you know, campers can switch off between the camps, which is awesome because now the Greek demigods have a chance to like go to school and stuff without having to worry about monster attacks 24/7 in New Rome, and the New Romans can like, you know, chill out with the Greeks once in a while, and it's just really awesome. And just, like I said, I'm shipping Nico and Will now, because just, yay. Nico actually even lets person know, like, yeah, I had a crush on you before, but you know what? I don't anymore, so you know what? We're all good, and Percy's just kind of shocked silence. Then, you know, Nico goes on his way. Frank and Hazel are dating officially. They're gonna be going back to New Rome, with Frank being a leader. Everything's good there. He's still alive. We don't know what happened to Leo. He's still gone. A lot of people think he was just vaporized along with Gaia. So he is seen as a hero. Jason is gonna be moving between the camps, building all those shrines and stuff he promised. Percy and Annabeth are going to be going to school in New Rome once they graduate and go to college, which is really awesome. They're still together, and looks like they have a very bright future ahead of them. And just everything seems good, except, you know, Leo seems to be dead. And you know, last chapter of the book rolls around, and there is our answer. Apparently, when he rebuilt Festus, he did something so that Festus could inject him with the physician's cure if there was the chance. So Leo did die, but he was brought back, he is alive, and he went to go get Calypso, so he actually went through with his promise. And that was really awesome. So now Calypso's free and she's gonna be happy, and they're gonna be a couple now, and Leo gets his happy ending, and just, yeah! So I wonder, part of me really wants to know if Leo actually does return to camp and let everyone know, like, hey guys, I'm alive and look who I got with me. Or if he just plays dead for the rest of his life and just... I hope he doesn't, because that's not right. I hope he does eventually, you know, return and let everyone know, like, hey, just so you know, I'm not dead. You know, since it's the last in the series, we probably will never find out. But it is going to be my headcanon that Leo eventually does let his friends know that he is alive. And like I said, it's also my headcanon that Will and Nico are a couple, and they end up being happy, because Nico deserves happiness, damn it. And you know, the other ships, Frank and Hazel, Jason and Piper, and Percabeth, they're all happy. They get their happy endings, which after all this, they deserve it. Headcanon. So I'm extremely sad that this series is over. It's like, I want to read more Percabeth and what happens to everyone, and I want to know, like, for sure, like, canonly, what happens. As much as I love my headcanons, still, just the need to know is there. But, alas, end of a series we may never know. That's what fanfiction is for, I guess. So yes, that is the end of the Heroes of Olympus and Percy Jackson. So many feels. So many feels. What did everyone else think? Was everyone else happy with the ending? Did you wish there was something else? Did you wish something else happened or more? Let me know. So that will be it for this book review, and I hope to see you guys next time. Keep on reading, my fellow book addicts. Keep on reading.